Most guys grow up believing their forearms are fixed. Whatever size they had when they first touched a dumbbell is what they assume they're stuck with forever. And that belief spreads fast because almost no one ever shows them otherwise. But the reality is very different. Forearms don't refuse to grow because of bad genetics. They stay small because the muscles that actually drive their size are almost never trained correctly. What's crazy is that one very small section of the forearm controls far more strength, thickness, and visual detail than most lifters realize. And it just happens to be the same section nearly everyone ignores. Walk into any commercial gym and you'll see it immediately. Benches are full, cable machines are occupied, arms, chest, and shoulders get hammered non-stop. Meanwhile, forearms are treated like an accessory that will somehow develop on their own. When people notice the imbalance, they reach for the same excuse: genetics, wrist size, bone structure, as if forearm growth is some predetermined limit etched into your DNA. But the truth is much simpler and much more frustrating. Most people never expose their forearms to real tension. They never challenge the muscles responsible for grip strength, joint stability, and dense muscular detail. What they're skipping without realizing it is the strength that carries over into every major lift, the protection that keeps elbows and wrists healthy under heavy loads, and the finishing touch that makes arms look complete instead of unfinished. And the most surprising part of all, fixing this problem doesn't require adding a long, complicated workout to your routine. It takes just 2 movements performed the right way. The forearm is built around 3 primary muscle groups. On the underside are the flexors, on the top are the extensors, and along the outer edge near the elbow sits the brachioradialis. Almost every standard gym routine accidentally stimulates only one of these, leaving the other 2 neglected. That imbalance is exactly why so many forearms look flat instead of full. Once you understand how each of these muscles works and when they're actually forced to fire, the right exercises become obvious. And the first one changes the way your entire forearm develops almost immediately. Wrist extensions. If there's one movement nearly every lifter avoids, often without even realizing they're avoiding it, it's wrist extensions. And that's wild because this is the exact exercise that builds the muscle responsible for that raised armor-like ridge running across the top of the forearm. The part that makes your arms look strong even when they're completely relaxed. Most people have never trained this muscle directly. That's why their forearms stay smooth and flat, no matter how many curls or rows they do. This muscle simply doesn't get enough tension during compound lifts to grow on its own. The setup is simple, but execution is everything. Sit down on a bench, rest your forearm on your thigh so it's fully supported. Let your wrist hang off the edge with your palm facing downward. Grab a dumbbell that's lighter than you think you need, lighter than your ego wants, then allow your wrist to drop naturally toward the floor. From there, lift the weight using only your wrist, not your elbow, not your shoulder. No swinging, no momentum, just that small hinge at the end of your forearm. When you slow it down and force the muscle to do all the work, you'll feel a kind of tension most exercises never create. It's sharp, controlled, extremely localized, and that's exactly why it works. This is where most people mess it up. They rush the movement, fast up, fast down, no control. That turns the exercise into nothing more than a dumbbell bounce. But when you pause briefly at the top, squeeze the extensors, and then lower the weight slowly like you're resisting gravity itself, everything changes. That slow negative is what drives growth. It forces the extensors to activate fully. It strengthens the small connective tissues around the wrist, and it creates that dry, detailed look along the top of the forearm that many people assume only comes from genetics. These muscles are small, which means they fatigue quickly, but they also recover fast. 3 sets of 12 to 15 controlled reps is ideal. By the final few reps, your hands should tremble slightly. That burn is the signal you've finally activated a muscle that's been ignored for years. And the payoff goes beyond aesthetics. As these extensors get stronger, your wrists feel more stable. Your pulling strength improves. Deadlifts, rows, and pull-ups feel more secure. Even everyday tasks suddenly require less effort. Then comes the second foundational movement: wrist curls. If wrist extensions carve detail into the top of the forearm, wrist curls build the heavy, dense mass underneath. This is the thickness that makes forearms look big from every angle, the part that gives them presence. Most lifters think they're already training these muscles when they curl barbells or dumbbells. But they aren't. During standard curls, stronger muscles take over, leaving the forearm flexors understimulated. When you isolate them directly, the difference is immediate. Set up the same way as before. Sit down, rest your forearm on your thigh, let your wrist hang off the edge. This time, your palm faces upward. That single change shifts the entire load onto the flexors. Let the dumbbell roll slightly toward your fingers at the bottom. You'll feel a deep stretch that most people have never experienced. That stretch matters. It loads the muscle from its weakest position and sets you up for a powerful contraction. Now curl the weight using only your wrist, no elbow movement, no arm swing, no leaning back, just a clean hinge. When you reach the top, pause and squeeze hard, as if you're trying to crush the handle. That squeeze is where density is built. Without it, you're just moving weight. The biggest mistake people make is rushing, dropping the weight, bouncing it off the fingers, jerking it back up. That kills tension and invites wrist discomfort. Slow the descent, feel the stretch, control the lift. That rhythm is what creates round, full forearms that pop even when your arms are relaxed at your sides. Again, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. The last few should produce a deep burn that tightens the entire forearm like a cable under tension. And if you want an insane pump, superset wrist curls with wrist extensions back to back. No rest. That simple pairing forces more blood into the muscle than it's used to handling. Beyond the pump, wrist curls strengthen your grip in a way that carries over to everything. Deadlifts, rows, pull-ups, even daily tasks like carrying bags or lifting awkward objects. Strong flexors make your entire arm feel more connected and powerful. Together, wrist extensions and wrist curls unlock a level of forearm development most people never reach. Once those foundations are in place, these bonus movements take your results even further. They're not required for growth, but they add density, endurance, and intimidation that separates serious lifters from casual ones. First, the farmer's walk. At first glance, the farmer's walk looks almost too simple. Pick up heavy weights and walk. But that simplicity is the secret. When you load your hands with serious weight, your forearms take over completely. Every step forces your grip to fight gravity. Every second, your muscles are under constant tension. There's no break, no reset. Most lifters find their grip fails long before their legs or lungs. That's why it works so well. It exposes weakness instantly and forces adaptation. No other exercise provides this kind of uninterrupted resistance. Go heavy enough that your grip feels challenged. Shoulders back, core tight, eyes forward, walk 20 to 30 meters. The moment the dumbbells start slipping, you're in the growth zone. An added benefit is confidence. When you can carry heavy weight with control, everything else in the gym feels easier. Second, the reverse curl. The reverse curl is one of the most overlooked exercises in the gym. Many avoid it because it feels awkward. But that awkwardness means it's hitting neglected muscles. With palms facing downward, the biceps step back, the brachioradialis and upper forearm extensors take over. This adds width near the elbow and changes the entire shape of the arm. Keep the movement strict, elbows pinned to your sides. Lift with control, pause at the top, lower slowly. That negative phase lights up fibers most people never train. Even with lighter weight, the pump is intense. After a few sets, the top of the forearm feels tight and swollen, exactly what you want. Third, hammer curls. Hammer curls aren't just for biceps. They directly attack the brachioradialis, giving the forearm that thick, rounded look. With palms facing each other, your forearms stabilize the weight from the side. This creates tension through fibers standard curls barely touch. Keep the grip neutral, no rotation, lift smoothly, pause at the top, lower with control. When your arms hang afterward, you'll notice a thicker outline along the outer forearm. Hammer curls tie everything together, creating a balanced, full arm look. When these movements are combined consistently, forearms start growing in ways that turn heads before you even flex. At the end of the day, building impressive forearms isn't complicated, it's just neglected. When you train the muscles everyone else ignores, you unlock strength, control, and definition that show up in every lift. Wrist extensions and wrist curls are the foundation. The bonus movements amplify the results, and together they create forearms that look strong, dense, and undeniable. But forearms are only part of the picture. If you want your upper arms to match that strength and size, there's another set of movements that completes the blueprint. Check that next, and you'll have everything you need for arms that look and perform on a completely different level.